Grateful for that.
You're right, Namne.
You're perfect.
Okay.
Temba told the doctor that he could not smell his food and it has a plasticky taste. Remove the package, the doctor said. Good evening and welcome to Talk with Rams Live. You know, one thing that has happened with many of us unexpected in this period of COVID-19 is this thing called debt. Unexpected things happened. Some of us, I can speak for myself as a freelancer. I could not bill my clients anymore, so I got new debts. And I can't pay for the things that I always pay for. What do I do in this period? How do I get myself going again and make sure that this debt does not drown me? What are my options? So I thought there's only one human being. I mean, one human being I can call on, who's a great friend of mine. She's always been the one person I trust, whose opinion I trust in this game. Nolubawalo Salem Nyati is founder and CEO of Debt Emancipation Wealth Creation, which is the Jew movement, as she calls it. She's a seasoned credit expert with over 15 years financial services experience gained from the credit bureau and credit ombud environments. She has for the past few years been trusted as a contributor and opinion leader on a number of television and radio platforms on matters finance. I can attest to that. She has a weekly slot on national radio as a resident credit expert. And she joins me tonight to help me on this issue. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Shobam. It's so great to be here. Yes.
Good to see you again. It's been a while. I've not seen you for a year.
I know. Kodwa ke. Yeah. Abakhe bawudibana bawuphinda badibana. That's true. Yes.
Yes, we are also, by the way, live on Instagram. Talk with Rams on all platforms and YouTube. Please send your questions. I can read them best on Instagram and on Facebook. Talk with Rams live on Facebook. Any issue that has to do with debt, we will deal with tonight. The reality is that many people now find themselves with new, unexpected debts. They will be, I'm talking about disciplined people now. I'm not even talking about reckless human beings. I'm talking about people who've been good, earning their 10,000 rand a month and making sure that they save 1,000 rand a month. But suddenly, they've been told, well, you know, we are downsizing, or you're gonna have to take a cut in your salary because of COVID, and suddenly they can't pay. I'm sure you're facing a lot of those people in the Jew movement.
Mshobanu, and the sad thing is that you then come to realize ukuthi umepi when it comes to credit providers. Because now all of a sudden there's many solutions that are seemingly solutions that are being brought for abantu, but are they really solutions? So you hear banks talk about payment holidays. You hear banks talk about debt relief options, but the reality is that people are now finding themselves in situations whereby they're asked to take out more loans to cover this period where they're unable to pay their obligations.
The classical situation of robbing Paul to pay Peter.
That's the thing. And because it's termed as holiday, it's termed as relief, people think it's something that is going to help them. But we all know that we've never been abantu who read the fine print. We've never ever been people who read the fine print, Tina, at all.
Yes.
So
yes.
end of the day, these kind of payment, so they say it's a payment holiday, but your interest is not going on holiday. It's running.
Interest does not take holiday.
No, Mhlobam. It doesn't do that. And so this is a crucial time where people need to really know what is the best option.
So let's talk about that, but I want us to get slightly practical. I want us to create a human being, and let's call that human being tonight Themba, because Themba is my favorite person.
Yes.
Themba is a very honest human being who works at a good organization. Let's call it a hardware store. And he's a senior manager there. He brings home 10,000 rand. He's always had his expenses at, let's say, 8,000 rand. He saves a bit, maybe 1,000 rand, and he's got 1,000 rand to buy a few things. Now he can't even buy alcohol or cigarettes, but he buys a few good things with it. But he's been told in the last month that we can only pay you 7,500 rand, which then puts him 500 rand short of his commitments. What practically could Themba do to get by?
Firstly, Rams, Themba is now saving on transport, right? So that's the first point Themba can look at. Themba is now saving on transport, and also Themba, the first thing they need to do is go and speak to the credit provider. Because there are options that are available. I want to talk about this option called credit life insurance. Because in as much as credit providers are talking to us about, you can come through and get a payment holiday, you can come through and get some kind of relief, there is insurance that people are paying each and every single month. So if you look at your statement would have Indo-80 CPP, your credit protection plan. It's a small amount, Rams, because we won't even be able to notice it. Because that small amount, it's 4.50 rand for every 1,000 rands that you actually owe. So now you then find people are not aware that they actually can claim from this credit life insurance should there be loss of income. So now you go to your credit provider and you say, this is my situation. This is what is happening in my workplace. This is the loss of income. How can you help me with this credit life insurance that I have been paying? Because how the credit life insurance works, when Rams, is that the moment you go and claim against it, the credit provider then starts making the payments, or the insurance starts then paying these installments for a period of about 12 months while you are still looking for umsebenzi and.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Yes.
There's an echo there. Could you put your headphone plug on your mobile where you have your Instagram? Because I think that's where we pick up the echo. So if you put it there, it will take away the echo.
I think so too. When Rams, I've put the earphones, but I think they're still picking up the echo anyway.
If it happens, I'm gonna have to be very sorry for the Instagram people, because then we're gonna have to let go of Instagram, because we can't affect a lot of people. Yeah. But they'll tell us. Let's continue. They'll tell us.
They'll tell us, yes.
So let's. I could. So Themba takes this insurance, and this insurance can give him a bit of a relief.
Yes.
But this insurance does not take him out of his debt, does it? I mean, that he still has commitments that he has to do.
No. So remember, what this insurance does is, now Themba is paying a bond, 2,000 rands, for example. Yes. He's paying a car finance, 1.3, une personal loan, upatale 500 rands, une credit card, upatale 700 rands. Now, what happens with credit life insurance is when you put a claim, all it does is it takes care of the installments for 12 months. So you don't get a lump sum. You know, people were excited by, oh, I'm going to get money. No, you don't get a lump sum. Akufiki stonga, as Xhosas would call it. So basically the installments are now taken care of. And when the installments are taken care of, that is when you then take that money and you can start paying whatever it is or living. Because now at this time, Rams, interest is food. It's electricity. It's to make sure there's a roof over your head. So my children are not going to go hungry because I must pay the clothing account. Do you understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, you don't want to get out of COVID-19 and you find now you're blacklisted. Now they are repossessing your house. Now they are repossessing your car.
Which are clear possibilities at the end of this period.
Correct. And that's why, you know, as people, we usually, when we are in a problem financially, we usually want to run away.
Yes.
Sizimele. Now is the time to go to your credit providers, because this pandemic is a crisis like no other. Nobody expected it. We are all thinking on our feet as to what to do for ourselves, and how the credit providers now are trying to think, how can they actually help us? Because at the end of the day, it is expensive to deal with bad debt.
This echo is not leaving us behind. There's still a complaint about the echo.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what, dear Instagram, walk away from me, let's keep it here. I will still be on Instagram. I'm so sorry about that. I'll still be on Instagram, and I will hopefully keep on reading the comments from there, because we want the sound to be as clear as it can be. So let's go to scenario 2 of Temba. And I'm going to create Temba in the image of most of the people who are on this platform.
Yes.
A hustler, somebody who runs their own little shop, an electrician, they bake, they run an events company, they could be whatever. Or they even run a proper office like Jew, okay? They run Jew movement. And now they're in this crisis, no more clients coming in, but of course your obligations still remain. As a business, what options do I have? Do I also have a right as a business to go and say, I need some kind of a relief from my debts until I am okay again?
So usually when I rams with the option that we spoke about, the credit life insurance, it usually covers your income, meaning imali oyifumana from umqashi. But in this instance, that is when firstly the business person would need to go to the UIF to go and claim UIF for the employees, right? And it's the employer, this business person who is people abaqeshileyo, that then at least relieves yena from those kind of obligations. I do also am aware, Oguti, there is relief that they are offering to SMMEs and all of those things. So the trick when I rams is to not just say, I am having trouble and sit down and say, go and sort your employees out with the UIF and then find out what kind of relief is there. Because it is estimated when I rams that there's going to be about 1,600 companies that actually close down. Do you get what I'm saying?
What?
It is, I'm telling you. So insolvencies, there are going to be those numbers, and it's estimated about 370,000, somewhere there, of people who are going to be retrenched. So it's going to be bad. And this is the time where people start bonding with their finances and say, what options do I have as a person in terms of now that I still have my job? Do I have this credit life insurance that I can actually make sure should anything happen, I don't have to be worried about children's school fees, at the same time worried about debt? Because at the end of the day, Rams, there are things that are not covered by credit. Iskolo, children still need to, you still need to pay school fees. They still need to eat. You still need a roof over your head. And so you want to take care of the debt aspect in terms of what to do. And also, I mean, UIF as well, for people who are short paid. So, oti, okay, I'm not getting imali yami yonke. Go talk to your employer and say, because at least UIF can cover some of the money that you are not getting. So bond with your finances now, because everything that the credit providers are offering, Rams, is nothing new per se. All these things have been there. These debt payment holidays have been there, because all this means is that if you have a personal loan for 24 months, all it means is that you take a break for 3 months, you extend your loan, so it's now 27 months instead of 23 months. But all that means is that you are going to be paying more, because that loan is going to be more expensive. But this interest is going to accumulate and your balance is higher, meaning you are paying interest upon interest on a higher balance.
Okay, let me acknowledge some people who have joined us. I'll start with the guys on Facebook Live. Tuso Sibako says hi. Sizo Hena likes the word is Tonga. Daniel Toriso is there. Bongi Hazel Hobololo says hi. Salem. Fikile Pizzo Mokontle says hi. Salem. They're only greeting you. I'm getting jealous. Lucia Mashilo says, does the credit insurance affect your credit score? We'll go back to that question later. I also acknowledge Toby Chilis, who's got a question also, and I'll read it out later. Musedi Nkanyane, Lila Gambobo, who also has a very interesting comment about those figures we mentioned, which are the same figures that shocked me about unemployment that's coming. On Instagram, Unatin Damase is there. She's got a question, and I'll read it later. Meg Zwani, Nicolette Machile, and I'll go through others later. Let me start with the question asked by Lucia. Does the credit insurance affect your credit score?
In a good way, yes, because...
In a good way, I like that.
Yes, because all that it means is that your account is showing up to date each and every single month. Because think of it this way, instead of you making the full payment, the credit provider is now making the full payment, or the insurance that you have been paying is making the full payment.
Excellent. Then Toby Chili says, how true is it that all debts given post 2017 are mandatory to have offered this credit insurance? If this is what happens, if it is, what happens if they did not offer me the credit insurance? Do I have a right against this?
So there was a regulation in August 2017 that all debts should automatically, so the credit life insurance comes automatically. They don't even have to offer it. It comes standard with the debt, unless when as the consumer says, hi, and I don't want it. But every debt that was taken from August 2017, you do have credit life insurance. And when we say debt, we even mean your home loan. We mean your car finance. We mean your personal loans, your credit card, your clothing accounts, etc., etc.
Basic human, one of the things that, one of the words that are most scary to us, and for whatever reason, is that word insurance. Is this credit insurance affordable? We are so scared of that word.
Jonga, you know why we are so scared? And I don't know. No, actually, Rams, we are not scared into Latina because we have 7 funeral covers. So clearly we are not scared. We have
we funeral cover, we don't see as insurance. We call it cover. We call it something else. And we know it's the one thing that we're willing to pay for when people are dead, not when people are alive. But any other insurance, I mean, When things go wrong, people cut their car insurance first or household insurance first. They cut their life, they cancel their life cover. Something about as an insurance. Mhlambe ke sityiwe ngabantu be-insurance for many years, but imagine.
Shame. So credit life insurance, Rams, it's R4.50 for every 1,000 rands you owe. And then for a home loan, it's R2 for every 1,000 rands you owe. Meaning, when your balance goes down, your credit life insurance also goes down. Because remember, it's covering the balance of the debt. So every time you make a payment, and sometimes when people they don't have that big of a debt that they don't even notice this money that's going off. Also because it's part of this installment. Installment, remember, it's distributed. Installment, you pay an installment, part of it goes to interest, part of it goes to fees, part of it goes to credit life insurance, and then part of it goes to the capital.
Inevitably, one of the things that's going to happen in this period, because I've got commitments, is that I may have to borrow. Let's say I did not have the credit insurance. Even if I had other debts that are not covered, I may have to borrow either from my bank and hopefully not from Umashonisa. How responsibly could people borrow in this period of uncertainty?
You know, Rams, before people borrow, find a way of negotiating with your credit provider to pay less. So you can actually please write to the credit provider, not phone. Write to the credit provider and say, this is my situation. My debts are not covered in the credit life insurance. Please, may we come to an agreement of me paying half my installment, and then when things get back again, I'll pay the full amount. But if things are so bad, Rams, there are Was it me? There was a timer. Okay. Yes, the same one. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, folks, you see what happens when you don't pay your debts? You get cut off. That's what just happened to me. It's not you, so your debts are up to date. I know they are. We still continue with our live conversation with Salem Nyati from the Debt Empowerment. I love the beautiful name of your business. Although I'm so scared of debt, but the way you put it, you make it so like you can empower me from this debt that I always find myself. So we are on a point that was very important for me about responsible borrowing
Yeah.
because people are gonna borrow. But as you say, let's write it down. Let's ask for the landlord to say, may I pay less?
Yeah, it's very important to Rams before you take out something new. But there's also other options when people find themselves in a corner. I mean, if somebody is at a point where their debts are up to here, they are facing repossessions, there are other options that are available, options like debt counseling, where somebody can go under debt review, where a debt counselor would then negotiate lesser installments on their behalf. And I mean, this is a court order. So the court then orders and oversees this process as long as it's a registered debt counselor, registered with the National Credit Regulator. That's very, very important. So debt counseling in itself is not that bad because it gives people indlela yokuphefumula. It's just that a lot of people out there have gone and saw an opportunity to be unscrupulous, and that's why debt review or debt counseling has a bad name. But there's also an option of debt consolidation, where you consolidate your debt, meaning you take out a big loan. Let's say your debts are to an amount of 120,000 rands in total. You then take out a loan for that amount, whereby you now paying an installment that's now less than what you would be paying if you were paying those debts individually. However, with debt consolidation, people must just make sure that you are not consolidating to a point where a debt that you were going to finish in 8 months' time, now all of a sudden you've taken up a new debt that you are going to be paying for 5 years. Because debt consolidation is usually 5 years. It's a big loan. Then all your other loans are closed. It's good for your credit profile because now all of a sudden you have a paid up status on your credit profile. Again, you need to approach that before you get into trouble because you need to apply for it. They need to assess you. You need to be approved. So when you know you are about to hit trouble, that's the time to go for debt consolidation. Otherwise, you can do debt refinancing, whereby instead of your debt being 24 months, you extend it to 36 months, talk to the credit provider, you pay a bit less, but in the long run, again, you are going to have paid more. So there are options when Rams that you don't have to be blacklisted, you don't have to face a repossession. It's all about sitting down with the credit provider because the credit provider needs our business in as much as we need them to extend credit to us. So don't go there shy, ingati wena you are the lesser human being. We need each other here. It's a partnership.
If my landlord some kind of an arrangement with me, I can't pay you 12,000 rand a month. I'm gonna afford about 8.
That's when you then seek the alternatives like your debt counseling or you apply for a debt consolidation. But you know what, when Rams, the refinancing, why would they refuse? Unless, of course, you know, they would point out things like the credit profile is bad and stuff like that.
Yes. Now, here's the sad part, and I hate acknowledging the sad part. When we get into a hole, we tend to freeze. We tend to think everything is collapsing.
Yes.
And most of us are going to ignore La Machala because we are now in trouble. We're not going to speak to anyone. We're going to ignore the private calls and the envelopes with the window in front, all those things, and the knocks on the door. What is the worst that could happen when we do
Zobanjo. I'm joking. So, you know, Rams, when you respond to a credit provider, you actually render them a little bit powerless, because now they can't really take the actions that they wanted to take, you know, and as quickly as they wanted to take. Because the moment they come to you, now is your chance to say, this is my situation, this is how much I can afford. You know, it's hard to blacklist somebody who's making payments. It's hard to repossess when somebody is making payments. So ikunceda apho londo leyo. Akekho umntu that would be arrested for debt. In fact, even if you get summoned to court, go and appear in court. Let the magistrate hear you out. You know, actually, I've got 7 children and I'm paying geld for all 7 of them. So that's why my situation is like this. Because sometimes, Rams, we don't put ourselves in these situations. Sometimes our lives change. There's 2 more children in the family. Sometimes it's the credit provider, Rams. The credit provider overcharges you interest. You don't even know that. So when you go and have your credit assessed, all of a sudden, no man, you were overcharged interest up, or this debt was granted to you recklessly to begin with. Land of reckless lending. So now you open up a whole lot of possibilities. We must not hide. Sometimes, Rams, we are followed for debt that has long prescribed. We are no longer even liable to pay these debts, but they are following us. You know, topics, no sales house, but you are still followed by so-and-so attorneys. And because we don't know and we are so afraid, we want to hide. So don't hide in Danasekaya. Go and speak for yourself and say, this is my situation, meet me halfway.
On that note, you had a question that came to you earlier about possibly a prescribed debt. Can you read that question and respond to it?
It says, will my debt ever get so old that I don't have to pay it? The straightforward answer is yes. It gets so old to a point where it expires. It has an expiry date. Let me explain how that works. Yes, so, and I'm going to give an example. Today is the 6th of May, 2020. Now, it happens that you default on your debt today. And upon you defaulting, for the next 3 years, you don't make a payment, right? You don't acknowledge your debt. They don't take you to court for that debt. If those 3 things happen after 3 years, meaning 6 May 2023, you are no longer liable for that debt. When they come knocking, you say, sorry, mdase, right? Because it has passed 3 years, no acknowledgement, no payment, no court action.
Wow. Wow. Well, death by sales house, a few people are saying that we have forgotten that shop sales house. You know, there's a sales house branch that I still know exists. If you drive to Swaziland through Carolina, you're going to see a Swaziland branch there. It fascinates me every time I see it. Yes, it exists.
Wow.
So what's that landed? They do exist.
Yeah, no, people are getting lawyers' letters and they start with the sentence, do you remember?
So enough about that. I think I want, in the last 5 minutes of our communication, to talk about debt emancipation to wealth creation. Jew, I want to talk about your business. This is the moment for you to tell us about your business and why we should do business with you and the kind of programs you're involved in. You go, I'm listening.
All right. So, you see, Rams, I've been in the credit industry for a good 16 years. And my passion really lies in empowering people, making them understand what their rights are when it comes to debt, but also helping them with the loopholes that they don't realize. So the company says from debt emancipation to wealth creation. So let's turn that money that you use for lunch every single day, let's turn it from lunch money to unit trusts, for example.
Yes.
So we literally just refocusing your finances. So that's what we do at the Due Movement. We refocus your finances to say, let's help you rechannel your money. Some people are so over indebted that they need debt counseling. We help with that. Some people just need mediation. Some people just need consultation on how to use their money. Some people are getting a bonus. What do I do with it? Some people are just squandering their money and they are not saving. So let's help you save. Let's help you save for your children. So that is what Debt Emancipation Movement is all about. It's for individuals, they can book a consultation, but organizations are also coming through to say, help my staff. Help them because we are facing retrenchments and we want them to be able to know what to do with their money so that they don't go and join unnecessary queues. So anything to do with money, anything to do with debt, that is what we help with.
Khomotso Machila says, very informative session, Rams. We need to have more of this at least every 6 months. I'll tell you this much, Khomotso, we'll have it every month. Once a month, we'll have a year. But most importantly, Nolbabalo, what I want us to do, I know you host seminars, and I want to be the broadcast platform of your seminars. I want you to create a seminar that will happen on this platform, and we just facilitate it for you so that we get more people to know what you do, and we can emancipate them on this platform.
Oh, Rams, that is so wonderful. I would be honored.
I love your work. I love what you do. I know how important it is to be emancipated from debt. I have learned so much from you for so many years, and I know a lot of people can learn from you. So I want us to do it here. Plan a seminar, maybe once every 3 months we have a seminar, but every week, every month once a month I want to hear anyway to talk about emancipating us, but we'll do a seminar.
It's very important when our REMS, I mean, we even see couples as well, because couples fight a lot when it comes to money. You know, people also have problems with their families. Umuntu sebenza Johannesburg, black taxes on the rise, especially now. People are not understanding that people are being laid off. So you can't help as much as you wanted to help. So what is another way of helping without you feeling the pain? You know, so there's a lot that happens when it comes to other people are suicidal over something when I REMS that can be solved just like that. Omuntu thinks when they're blacklisted, it's the end of the world. Meanwhile, that thing is only going to stay for 12 months and come off anyway, whether you have paid it or not. And when you are stressing. So what is killing us is lack of knowledge more than anything. And that's what we are here for. Sometimes you know you've got a problem, but you can't point what the problem is. That's what we are here for. Sometimes you don't know that you have a problem. That's what we are here for.
She is Nolubabalo Salem Nyati, founder and CEO of Debt Emancipation to Wealth Creation Due Movement. She's going to be our guest at least once a month, and we're going to do that seminar. I promise you, Khomotso. We'll try to do once a quarter, maybe once every 6 months. We'll see how it goes, depending on your interest. And I know you will be interested in it. I've got one more offer for you, Mkhawab.
You understand the offers, Mkhawab? Yes.
I've got one more offer for you. So I have a partner in my broadcast business.
All right.
And they're a marketing organization. And they do amazing work. So one of the things I've done with this marketing organization is to blackmail them to give me free gifts that I can pass on to my guests. So the company is called Redesign, and Redesign is offering you free market research of your market so that you understand what you're dealing with, which will then help you to build a proper business and make you grow. Free of charge, courtesy of Talk with Rams Live, coming from Redesign. Enkosi kakhulu.
Thank you so much.
Truly appreciate you. I will see you in about 3 weeks or so. And we shall plan for the seminar. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Rams, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Have
And
a
thank
great
you for
evening.
everything. Have a great evening too.
Love you.
Love you, Mshawam.
So, folks, thank you very much for joining. And by the way, that offer stays for, maybe it's you. Next time you're my guest, I've got another little carrot to dangle up front for you. Maybe we host a seminar with your own business on this platform. What do we know? So make contact, participate. You could be the next one in here. But I truly appreciate your participation on the show. Do subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Talk with Rams, and do follow us on all other platforms on social media. From me, Rams Mabote. Good night and God bless.